Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about making motorcycle videos in the rain. Catch me inside.
RevelatorAlf.
Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. Hope you're enjoying the series and the channel. Please subscribe and hit the notifications bell to get all the latest videos. So in this video, I'm really talking about making motorcycle videos in the rain. Is it really worth it? Should you really do it? Well, first of all, there are two things to consider. Is this a video that you are making that wants to showcase, let's say, your filming capability, your motorcycle video making capability? Is it to show your video off in the best light possible, as in not actual light, but atmospheric light, let's say, audience retention capability? Does it have all that? Well, the chances are, if you're going to film in the rain making a motorcycle video, it's going to fail on all of those. Basically, you're going to have reduced light, which isn't that much of an issue. You can counteract that, but that might be a factor. But also, the biggest thing is that when you're using an action cam, sports cam, so like a GoPro, I'm filming this on a Drift HD, if you're going to attach this to the bike or to the helmet, then what will happen is that you will get rain on the lens. Now, as you're riding along, you're going to get rain on the lens. Now, there are ways to sort of counteract that a little bit. You can apply a rain repellent on the lens itself, and I've done this in the past quite a few times, and that works quite well. So as soon as any rain hits it, then it will be immediately dispersed. So you can work the problem, but you will always see that element of rain or that kind of blurring of the picture. So that's the thing. Also, let's say if you're riding on the road, for example, there are other vehicles, they're going to be kicking up a lot of spray, and that will go onto you, but onto the lens. Now, I'm never saying to anybody don't ride in the rain, because I always say you should always ride in, take advantage of all weather conditions whenever you're riding, and up to your own personal limits, of course. However, filming is another thing. You want to try and get the best footage that you possibly can, and you want to be able to use as much of the footage as you possibly can for the editing process. What you'll find is, if you're actually filming in the rain with an action cam, sports cam, attached to the bike or to yourself in your helmet, shoulder, chest, harness, whatever it is, that it will get lots of raindrops on the lens, and that may or may not make the footage usable, okay, for your editing. So you might film, let's say, 2 hours of footage, and if it's been raining constantly, you might only be able to use 30 seconds of it. It really depends how much rain is on the lens, and does it really blur the picture. Now, in some circumstances, you can use that kind of rain effect, that blurring effect, as a kind of natural special effects for your video, but certainly not for 20-30 minutes, whatever. We're talking about 2 or 3 second clips, something like that. My advice would be, say, if it's raining or if there's a lot of water on the ground, on the road, and there's going to be lots of road spray, I would say don't film. Just save yourself the headache. Just don't film in it. Now, if you're taking the bike off-road where there aren't any other vehicles and you're the only one on the track, yes, you might want to do it. You might want to highlight, okay, how difficult it is, riding in a certain place when it's raining and the ground is wet, or it's really muddy, so on and so forth. You can make a good video, showing the hardship, as it were, but you're still going to get rain droplets, mud, whatever on the lens, and it may make the footage usable, or a big bulk of what you've captured usable. So, whilst in the filming and editing process, you're always going to discard quite a bit of footage, you still want to have a big bulk of usable footage that you can actually edit down. And unfortunately, using these kind of cameras, and when the bike is in motion, it's not going to work. So making an action motorcycle video for your route riding or for your, or whatever it is, adventure rides, it's not really going to work. However, should you still make a motorcycle video in the rain, if the bike is, so if the camera is not attached to the bike, let's say for example you want to put it on a tripod, you know, you want to put it on the side of the road and you just want to film the bike going by, or you know, you're doing stunts in a car park or whatever it is, you know, it's raining, or you're, you know, trying to get up a muddy track. Well, you can do that, absolutely. There's no problem with that. In fact, that would be a fantastic video, because what you can do, you can actually shield the camera somewhat, the lens I should say, whatever camera it is, DSLR, you know, whether you're using a smartphone, whether you use an action cam, you know, shield the lens a little bit, and actually that will stop water getting onto the lens, and you'll still get a crisp picture, but you still get great footage. But you're also having the dynamic of, say, it's really raining outside, and you know, it's, you know, the conditions are really bad as well. So, you know, you can make use of it. So I would say, you know, if you're making an action film, a dynamic film where the camera is in motion attached to you, I would say yes, you might want to try it, but you know, be prepared for a lot of footage that's going to be unusable. You can use a rain repellent on the lens, that would work quite well, but not always. If you check out my other video for using rain repellent on visors, you know, it's the same principle there. As I say, it does work really well, but it only works for a very limited period, and then it will get caught up with rain again. But if it's just a static camera position on a tripod, whatever, you know, in a locked position, then yeah, you can film lots and it'll be absolutely fine. Especially, now I'm not talking about the waterproofing of the camera here. I'm actually talking about the actual shot, the film quality, the video quality, because of the water on the lens. Okay. Waterproofing, depending on which camera you've got, you might need a waterproof case. Now, say for example on the Drift camera, which I use, which I'm filming on, that's waterproof anyway, so I don't need it. Earlier GoPros, this is GoPro 4, this isn't waterproof, so it needs a waterproof case if, you know, you're operating in that kind of conditions. I actually prefer using a skeleton case for mine, so I can use an external microphone, that kind of thing. But obviously the later GoPros, they're all, you know, waterproof anyway, so you don't need the case if you really don't want to. Anyway, so you know, that would be my advice really depending on what kind of video you want to make and in what kind of conditions, you know, you really want to film. Can you use some of the footage at the end of the day? Can you use the footage in a kind of natural special effects way? Does it really portray what you're trying to tell in the video, the story you're trying to tell, or whatever you're trying to demonstrate? You know, does it convey that message of hardship, of, you know, difficult conditions, you know, getting soaked through, whatever, you know, does it tell that? Or is it just, you know, is it just like a shaky camera video when it's just, you know, really shaky, and you think, oh yeah, this is really shaky, you know, really rough road, but actually it's unwatchable? You know, you might be able to watch it for a little bit, you know, for a couple of minutes, let's say, but, you know, 30-minute video, I don't think so. You know, so that's the kind of thing you got to think about. Is it going to be watchable at the end of the day? Would you want to watch it, you know, afterwards? You know, and so many times I'll look back on my older videos and I think, yeah, I made massive mistakes there. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. No, I should have picked another day. And that's exactly what I'm trying to tell you here. You know, think about the quality of the video that you want to publish, and then also think about your audience. You know, are they going to find it watchable, entertaining? Are they going to be able to clearly see what you're trying to portray? But also, a year, 2 years, 5 years down the line, when you look back on the video and look back on it and think, yeah, actually that was pretty good, or no, that was pretty awful. You know, that kind of thing. As I say, you know, dynamic shots in the rain is not going to be that great, but you know, static shots, and you're just riding around or doing off the bike sort of work, you know, in the rain, no problem. You'll get wet, but the camera, you know, the lens won't get wet, or shouldn't be get wet, especially if you shield it a little bit. Right, hope this helps, hope this video helps, you know, hope you like it. Hit the like button. If you got any comments, you know, leave them below, and well, catch you on the next video, whenever that is. Hit the subscribe button and the notifications for all the latest videos, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.